Hi, my name is Aisha McGowan, also known as a Quick Brown Fox. In this video, I'm going to show you how I fix a flat. It may not be how you fix a flat, but it's possible that something I do can help you along the way. So first, we're going to take the back wheel off. And it's easiest to do this if the chain is on the smallest cog. So I am going to shift all the way down so the chain is on the tiniest cog of my cassette. And then I'm going to undo, you can't see it from there, but I'm going to undo the quick release, that's the word, and then I'm just going to give it a little push and it should drop right out. So now I have my wheel. When you mount the wheel, it's really helpful if you put the logo of the tire near the valve. So if you don't know the source of your flat, it's easier to find it later. And now I'm going to show you how that works. So first I'm going to make sure that there's no additional air in here. I noticed that there was a wire sticking out of my tire. It's not here anymore. So it was an obvious flat. It wasn't a pinch flat, but we're still going to test for, to figure out where the hole is. So I'm going to use a tire lever to get one side of the tire off. Boom. All right. And then I'm just going to take out my inner tube, like so. Okay, I'm going to put my wheel down. So now if I want to see where the leak is, the easiest way to do that is to use a pump and put air in the tire. If you don't have access to a pump, it might be a little more challenging. You can also use water, and where the water bubbles is where the hole will be. Now, this was a really tiny wire, so it's going to be a really small hole. And if you're attentive, you can hear the air flowing out and kind of move the tube around your face, and I can feel it on my face. So the hole is right here. And it's so small, I honestly cannot see it with my eyes. But what I can do is compare it to where the tube was on the tire, and I know the hole is going to be approximately around here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is make sure that there's nothing else in the tire that's going to re-puncture a new tube if I put it in. So what we're doing is just putting in a whole new tube. We're not going to patch the tube. Alright, so I think we're good here. When you do that, it's good to tread a little lightly just in case there's glass or something that can hurt you. But we're all set. The wire's not in here anymore, so we're good to go. So what we're going to do now is put in a new tube. So my rims, these Zip 303s, are a little deep, so I can't just put the valve in as it is. I have to do a valve extender. So I have this tool that I can carry in my saddlebag to remove the valve extender off of the old inner tube and put it on the new inner tube. Oh, that's the rest of the air going out. Sorry. And honestly, what I do if I'm going on a ride is I make this switch ahead of time. Okay, so now I have my old tube that already has the valve extender on it and the new tube that needs the valve extender. So I'm going to take the valve extender off of this tube and put it on this tube. So let's start with the old tube. I've got these two wrenches that came with the valve extenders. I don't have the packaging anymore, but if you purchase the Zip valve extenders, it comes with these wrenches. And I'm going to put it into the notches that you probably can't see from there and just unscrew, lefty-loosey, and take it right on off. And what's cool is that the extender, this extender already has the stem core on it, the valve core on it, so I can just take that right off of the old one and then reverse that action to, oh, that's right, I have to use the back of the wrench to take the core off of the new tube. And now we're ready to screw the extender onto the new tube. And then I do exactly what I did before. Use 2 wrenches, and then now I do righty-tighty and tighten that on. Boop. And now we're good to go. So like I said, when I go on a ride, I keep one that's already pre-done in my saddlebag. So this one, if you look, already has the extender on it. So if I'm just trying to keep it moving, I can just pop in a new tube. I don't have to do that extra step. Okay, so now what we're going to do is put the new tube back into the wheel, back into the rim. Alright, so it's helpful if you put a little bit of air into the new tube, just a little bit. That should do it. And that just gives it some shape when you're putting it in to the thing. So when you put the tube back into the rim, make sure that your logo on your tire is lined up with the hole for the valve, and you put it in there, and you want to be careful not to twist the tube when you put it in the tire. So I'm going to put it completely in first, as straight as possible. And then I'm going to try and get the new tube to sit on the rim. Alright, so these tires have been worn in quite a bit, so it's much easier to fix a flat on this with this tire, just because I've used it. A lot of times new road tires can be really stiff and very challenging to get back onto a rim or get onto the rim for the first time. One cool trick is to push the valve stem up, so you know that it's not pinching the tube in this area, and then you just sort of bend the tube around the rest of the rim, and then you get to the hardest part, and you just gotta use all your little strength and do the best you can. So another trick that I learned is that if you start from there and you sort of shimmy some slack, sometimes it's easier to get there we go. Alright, so now we're on to the hardest part. We made sure that the area with the stem is nice and snug as a bug in there, not pinching the tube. And so now you just have to wrestle the last bit of tube onto the rim. Success! Alright, so now that we've got our tire completely back on our rim, we want to go around the entire rim and make sure on both sides that you don't see any tube poking out from beyond the tire, so we know that it's not going to pinch anywhere. And a way to keep track of where you are is to start at the valve core stem area and in there too. So we're looking good. All right, now we're ready to put some air back in this guy. Alright, so now I'm going to put the chain on the first cog and then just wiggle, get it around, voila. And then get it nice and snug back into the groove, tighten up my wheel. Quick release closed, ready to roll. There we go. All right, so my brakes are rubbing, and that's a completely different thing that I need to adjust with a separate tool, but it's all done. We've got our fully functioning tire ready to roll. My advice to you would be to shift back up a few cogs, because if you are in the hardest gear and the hardest in the front as well, it's going to be really hard to get started pedaling again. So you just want to shift down a little bit and give yourself some breathing room, and you're good to go. And now you can continue to ride your bike. You're all set. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel and to follow me on social media at I Suppose, AYESUPPOSE. That's all.